Tiga.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening, everyone. Before we start our group discussion for today, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Bazla Korah binti Muhammad and my metric number is 207362.
My name is Ruhilhana binti Amir Hamzah, matrix number 207687.
My name is Muhammad Amiruddin bin Muhammad Shah. My metric number is 207363.
Hi, my name is Fatin Natasha binti Kamarul Zaman. My metric number is 207634.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Imran Shah bin Abdul Razak and my metric number is 207648.
Okay, so we will begin our group discussion. Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. We are gathered here today to have a group discussion. And the topic for today is under human rights, the banning of smoking in eateries is violating the right of people to smoke. The ban can be seen as a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom. What is your view? So, is there anyone who would like to share their opinion first?
May I give my point of view about this issue? So for me, banning of smoking in eateries is a must. It's the right thing to do because smoking in eateries bring harm to others, although people say that smoking is smoker's choice. But we do have our right whether we want them to smoke or not. And one more thing, smoking causes harm not only them but also us, the one that example and asthma patient. So asthma patient when they go to any restaurant that didn't ban the smokers to smoke, and then they must bring their inhaler because they might affect their health if they didn't bring it. So for me, smoking in eateries, we must ban it. So how about you, Amisha? Do you agree with me?
I disagree with you. For me, I believe that smoking in eateries should not be banned. I know everyone is concerned about their health, the second smokers, but if we ban the smokers in eateries, it will affect the business of the restaurant. If the smokers do not go to the restaurant, so that the restaurant will have no customers and their profit will have less revenue. That's my point. How about you, Fatin? What do you think?
Thank you, Ame. But I have to disagree with you. From my point of view, the banning of smoking does not violate the right of people to smoke. Because if you want to talk about human rights, we should also consider about the non-smokers' human rights. So everyone has the right to be free from the action of others that will affect their health negatively. As we know, when a person smokes, they will release secondhand smoke that will affect the environment and other people's health. This dangerous secondhand smoke can cause lung infection, heart disease, asthma, and so on. So this shows that by smoking in eateries, it also has violated the non-smokers' right to have a clean environment and good health. So what about your opinion, Imran?
Thank you, Fatin Natasha. In my opinion, I agree that banning of smoking in eateries is violating the right of people to smoke. This is because ban on smoking is against Malaysian culture. If we go to a coffee shop or mamak stall and sit there for a few minutes, we will notice that most of the customers are smokers. We can call it as Malaysian kedai coffee culture. They drink coffee with friends, having a chat and puff a cigarette or two. Let us not kid ourselves that customers will change their habit easily when the ruling comes into effect. The ruling to cover open air places such as mamak stall is a little too demeaning. I understand that smoking is bad, but smokers should be allowed to make their own choices too. Plus, we are talking about public areas, and the smokers also have the right to be in the areas as taxpayers and citizens. Otherwise, why impose a total ban on eating places? If the health is the reason, so the ban should cover pubs, bistros, karaoke, and nightclubs. So the real issue here is whether the ban is fair to everybody or not, particularly to small business owners who depend on their customers ordering a cup or two of coffee and having a smoke. Instead of having this ban, we can create more public awareness or conduct educational programs on the dangers of smoking. That's all for me. So how about you, Bazla?
Okay, so in my personal point of view, I would have to partially agree with Imran just now, as he said, it is also important for smokers to have a place for them to smoke. Like when they go out to eat, they just like to chit chat with their friends and while smoking and eating. However, we have to remember the fact that all eateries aren't only occupied by adults, but also children. As you know, like mama stalls, there's a lot of children also going to mama stalls to eat. Like people like to go there with their families, and these children or these secondhand smokers, as mentioned by Fatih Natasha just now, these secondhand smokers, they are a lot more susceptible to these diseases because, according to studies, secondhand smokers, they tend to get these diseases like lung cancer and respiratory issues more than first-hand smokers, more than the smokers themselves. And as we all know, human rights were established to protect these fundamental values, such as the ability to live and have a healthy have a healthy environment. And so I believe that um, this ban does not cannot be seen as a form of mistreatment because it also affects other people as well. Is there anyone who would like to add anything? Maybe Ruhil or Fatih Natasha?
May I add something to strengthen our point? So, as we know, when we eat in eateries, so when people smoke, so we will make some of customer are not comfortable with the smokes around by the neighbor's table. So imagine you are enjoying your food and suddenly the smokes covering your eyes. So that thing is not respecting others because they want to eat, but you also want to smoke, and then what who gonna win? So for me, banning smoking is the right thing to do. This is the same principle like speed limit. So um, why speed limit? Why they put speed limit in highway? Because speed driving is dangerous. So that's the same thing why they ban smoking in eateries because eating while smoking and will disturb other people and also they didn't respect others. So anyone want to add anything?
That's a very great point, and I'm totally agree with Ruhil. I personally think that by banning smoking in eateries or maybe other public places would not be such problems to smokers because cigarettes are still freely available and smokers can still smoke in places that has no restrictions. And it is much better for them to smoke in a place that has less contact with other people so that they don't affect other people's health and the environment. What
May I
about Amrisha? Do you have? Oh,
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but may I add something here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as Fatin and Ruhil mentioned just now, it is true because smoking they are not banning smoking fully, but they are only banning smoking at eateries, and this does not compromise with the smokers. And I think that this ban actually helps to minimize the exposure of other people to the smoke. And according to a study, even if someone has finished smoking, but the smoke will stay in the air for several hours, which can be very dangerous for other people, especially children, as I've mentioned just now. And according to one study, one research made by a Malaysian Journal of Public Health Medicine in 2020, they actually studied the influence of this smoking ban in eateries on smoking attitudes among adult smokers in Klang Valley. And 78% of the smokers actually agreed with this ban because they think that this will help reduce their daily smoking and also help to be more respective towards other people. Amir or Imran?
Bazla, you are saying that the smoke from the smokers will stay in the air for a couple of minutes and it might be affect the other person such as secondhand smoke, right? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Regarding what Bazla, Ruhil, and Fatin said, they are very concerned about the hack. Just a random question. Did banning smoking in eateries really affect the business? Anyone can respond. Anyone?
Okay, for me, I believe that it will not affect the business of the people of the eateries because they still sell smokes, they still sell cigarettes. The only thing that they're banning is that to not smoke at the eateries itself. So they can just buy the smoke at the, like for example, a mama store. Like they always sell cigarettes as well behind the counter. So they can just buy and maybe go somewhere else to smoke. Maybe go to like a field or like at the side of the road. Maybe not too close to other people, not proximate to other people. So I believe it will not affect the business of the eateries itself.
Okay,
Thank you.
mm, I think we have reached to the end of our discussion. Before we come into conclusion, you guys have any changes in your opinion? What about Amin?
After a persuasive speech by my friend, I think I'm agree with Benny.
And I want to add something after having this discussion. It touches my heart deeply that smoking in eateries might affect other person's health. So I agree with this banning. That's all.
Okay, so Bazla and Ruhil, you guys also disagree that banning smoking does not, I disagree that banning smoking is violating other people's right to
Yeah.
smoke.
Yes, that's true.
So in conclusion, I think most of us disagree that banning smoking in eateries has violated other people's right to smoke, and we agree, and we also agree that it doesn't really have anything to do with other people's right and freedom because because we need to consider all of the people's right, not just the smokers. So I think that is all from us. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.